What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another movie review. I'm Chase Lee, reviewing for DallasMovieScreenings.com, and welcome to my first ever coverage of the first ever North Texas Film Festival. Yes, North Texas decided to create a festival to kind of throw their name into the conversation of award season. You know, we've had Telluride just happen, TIFF just happened, New York Film Festival is happening as we speak. Fantastic Fest just ended, which is also Texas-based. So North Texas was like, you know what? Let's just do our own. Let's do one that's the kind of fall counterpart to the Dallas International Film Festival, which happens in the springtime. So I couldn't be happier about that. I'm glad that they're doing it. I hope it continues. You know, this one's only 3 days long for its first run out, which is great, and hopefully it could be longer in the future. But if you could have one in the fall and one in the spring, that's kind of a win for everybody. And I'm a little selfish, and I want to do both. So, I wanted to attend it and just see what what the word was. You know, what is going on out there for this particular film festival. It's only 3 days long, like I said, so I'm not covering a lot for you guys, but I'm going to do 2 days worth and just kind of throw a few of them at you. So if you see on the thumbnail the North Texas Film Festival logo, that is where I saw it. The first one that I saw at the film festival is Marriage Story. Now, this one comes from Netflix. It is written and directed by Noah Baumbach, and this one tells a story loosely based on his own personal experiences when he was married to Jennifer Jason Leigh, then got divorced. They had a kid together. This one has Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson. So Adam Driver is basically him. ScarJo is basically Jennifer Jason Leigh. And we see their marriage at the top of the movie. They're very happy. They're very loving towards one another. They love their son very, very deeply. And we see their marriage dissolve very quickly in front of us. And we see the kind of rigorous and exhaustive process of divorce and just how mentally and financially draining it can be on both parties. It's pretty wild. But that's your movie. It's a very stripped down look at that process, but a very good stripped down process indeed. But so going into this, I heard a lot of buzz. Adam Driver for best lead actor, Noah Baumbach for screenplay, director, best picture. I'm like, guys, slow down. My top 10 list is taking an extreme beating right now. I don't need any more movies to crowd that up. So I have to take some out, rearrange. Who wants to do that? I don't got time to do that. I mean, I do, but it's just like, guys, come on. So I saw the movie. I'm gonna have to organize my top 10 list again. This movie's fantastic. It is simply divine. And I think Noah Baumbach just created a future classic in American cinema and really kind of showing what marriage and even divorce is like in this modern era. Given the fact that this country has a 50% divorce rate, I think this movie's pretty timely. So, yeah, this was a emotional gut punch, that is for sure. So, let's start with Noah Baumbach because I think he's the star of this movie because this movie is so personal to him. But first thing I wanted to say is that, one, this movie is not pretentious. He isn't like, making this, some out there story that has no connection to his real life experience. It's very straightforward and really kind of an in-depth look into it. I don't know the facts on his real life situation in the movie, but I can just tell by looking at this movie, I think there's a lot of personal stuff going on that he did kind of display on the page, which is awesome. And second thing is that he does not make himself look good 100% of the time. Because I know a lot of people are going to say, like, oh, it's a personal story. It's going to make him look good, throw her under the bus, and make him look like the hero, and he's the victim. That's not the case. Adam Driver's character is very unlikable in some spots, and he's actually quite annoying in some areas. Like, his personality traits sometimes go the way of, like, please get away from me type of deal. So, so he did not make himself look like a victim at all, or even a hero. It's just he wrote two characters that are deeply human, deeply flawed, that love each other and have this complexity about their relationship, and he really kind of displayed that on screen. So good job on that. But he is definitely the star of it, for sure. He's the writer, he's the director, he's got that personal attachment to it. And I think by the end of it, I realized that Noah Baumbach poured his heart and soul onto the pages, and they translated well to the screen. And it's such a well-written movie. Like, this thing is the front runner for best original screenplay. Mark my words, it's probably going to win, like 80% sure right now, but it is the front runner. It is a sharply written script and a microscopic examination on marriage, on love, relationships, connections, divorce, which is really important, by the way, because this aspect of this relationship takes over most of the movie. This is probably one of the more accurate representations of divorce I've seen in film. And it never feels Hollywoodized, never feels like this fake process. Like, this feels like a real couple going through this real situation that is mentally and financially exhaustive. And it's bitter towards one another. Like, Noah touches like this nerve that really kind of gets deep inside of you, and like you start to feel uncomfortable watching this situation because this is what people go through. And I think really kind of capturing this modern era of this 50% divorce rate was smart, because a lot of people go through with this, and it's really hard to watch anyone fall out of love and get a divorce and, God, split their time between their kids. It's wild, man. And it's a crazy process. And, I don't ever wish that on anybody. And this is just one of those cases to where, this is not like some Hollywood happy ending. It's just like, this feels like real characters going through a real situation, which makes it even more emotionally devastating when they break down in front of one another. It feels raw and it feels explosive, and it's just like, yes, this is what cinema is about, man. So, it is, like I said, such a well-written script, and really just kind of gets to the heart of the matter of all these themes that he touches. And, when he's directing all these scenes, a lot of these kind of like dialogue moments happen over one another. They overlap, and it feels like real conversations that people are having. So once again, just goes back to the naturalistic nature of the screenplay. And his direction is spot on too. It is like pitch perfect. He, manages to make this movie stripped down. There's nothing really flashy about it. This is a character movie. This is an actor's movie. He wanted to show that, and yeah, there's some really nice cinematography, but man, he really just lets Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver just go there, and he directs them to really go to these deep places that they are really going down, these emotional rabbit holes that they are sinking into when these scenes are happening on screen, and it shows. It's very blistering, it's raw and in your face, and I love that. Just once again adds to the realism of it. There's even a couple times where like Scarlett Johansson or Adam Driver have like some monologue moments, and sometimes he might keep the camera on there and never cut away. And it just once again lets the actors kind of really kind of penetrate you with this like emotional sting, and it just stays there, and that they're breaking down, or they're having these like psychological breakdowns or whatever, and like you want to be there to comfort them, but like we have to observe this. We have to observe them letting out their feelings. We have to observe them grappling onto this harsh reality that they are getting divorced. This is a nasty process for them and their son. It's just, it touches a nerve. I'm telling you, Noah Baumbach just touches that nerve, and you're like, oh, please stop. Like, give me more, please, because this is a really good movie. So he is a phenomenal writer and a phenomenal director for this film, for sure. The acting is also really great. Like I said, kind of getting out these kind of raw and blistering performances from Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, which, by the way, I agree that Adam Driver is fantastic in this, and the end scene is like the bow on top of the wonderful Adam Driver present that we get. But Scarlett Johansson is equally good. This is a balancing act. They are co-leads in this movie. No one gets more screen time over the other. No one is undercutting the other. They have equal screen time, and they're both equally good. They have this interesting chemistry where at first you don't really think that they would go well together, but as the movie kind of starts and kind of you get into the groove of the story, they do have a nice chemistry. They have a wonderful mother and fatherly bond with their son. And I felt like I was watching this real couple, and then as they started to argue a lot more and really kind of get nasty towards one another, I believed it. And I was just like, I want to get in there and help these people out. Then you have to check yourself a little bit and be like, this is a fictional film, sir. So, yeah, Adam Driver is, I wouldn't be surprised for nomination from him or Scarlett Johansson. She's just as good. A couple of times it got me when she was giving her monologues and when they were arguing or whatever. It's hard to watch sometimes. Supporting cast is amazing. Alan Alda plays a lawyer. He's really funny but he's really straightforward and he just tells it like it is, and I love that about him. Laura Dern is also a lawyer. And this has no context in the movie, so you have no idea what I'm talking about, but she's when we first meet her, she's like, oh yeah, I had to drop my kid off at school, and like it's just like her character from Big Little Lies, and I think someone was laughing in the audience, and I was like, I think we understood that reference. It has nothing to do with it, by the way, but yeah, she plays a lawyer, and she's also kind of stern, and she's really good at her job, but she's just really fun to watch because she's very knowledgeable in defense tactics and everything in the courtroom. And then Ray Liotta pops. I had no idea he was even in this. He also plays a defense lawyer, and he's really fun to watch. Like, he would actually make a great lawyer. So, but he's once again really delivering this dialogue in such a believable way that I thought that he was a lawyer, or I thought Laura Dern was a lawyer. Alan Alda was this awesome, older gentleman that has a lot of experience. He's like, listen, this is not a good process. I'm going to walk you through this, but this is what you need to do. And so, yeah, he's fantastic. And then there's a couple other little surprise people that pop up. I'll let you watch that for yourself. And then the last thing I want to comment on is the music. The music has this kind of warmth to it and this sense of hope, which is funny because sometimes it plays during some of the more devastating parts of it. But I like that. I like that, yes, what we're seeing is really tragic for these characters, but the musical accompaniment kind of boosts it up a little bit, adds more body to the story, and gives us this kind of like warm feeling that everything's going to be okay. They may not be together. They'll still love each other. They'll be there for their kid. But everything's going to be okay. And kind of even going back to what I said earlier about Noah Baumbach's like cathartic kind of filmmaking that he's doing on here. It's almost like he's releasing all this, releasing all these, thoughts that he has had over these years ever since his divorce. So the music is great. It's done by Randy Newman. There you go. Yeah, Noah Baumbach got a lot of great people for this movie. Even like the editor of Hereditary. It's a very well edited movie as well. So, guys, I don't know what to say. I don't have anything bad or negative to say about it. It's excellent. It's a top 10 contender. I'm gonna give it an A. Marriage Story is one to look out for. Please check it out. I think it hits like theaters at the end of November, like for limited release, and then Netflix at the beginning of December. So check it out if you want to. But that will do it for this review, guys, in the first film of the North Texas Film Festival. So tune in next time for another film that I will be reviewing from the festival. And I am Chase Lee, and tune in next time for whenever I do that. So I'll see you guys later.